Alyssa Mercante has officially filed a lawsuit against me. Why? Because I dare cover her among everything else that I talk about on this channel, but for some reason she feels like she's special and she shouldn't be talked about. Yeah, apparently after reading through some of this 54-page lawsuit that gets sent my way, that's about all I can get out of it. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. I have already contacted Ron Coleman and do plan on speaking with him tomorrow about this, but as of right now, all we have to go by is this frivolous document that just goes on and on forever, and within it, calculated moves attacking me and my family, showing off my entire address and giving it out there to her thousands of legions of fans to share it around, tell everyone what page my address is on, and dox the hell out of me. Subscribe, bell, all that fun stuff, but let's actually just get into this right now because honestly, I don't have time for this. I don't. I got stuff to do. I got to spend time with my family. I don't have time to be making videos talking about frivolous lawsuits from unhinged lunatics, in my humble opinion, that have been disgraced former journalists that no longer work at where they were. And you can try to sue me for giving an opinion, but good luck with that because that's what everyone does on YouTube. You want to take away the ability for people to have opinions on people? You're gonna have a bad time. The lawsuit, which spans 54 pages, accuses me of, all right, here we go. Stoic terrorism, defamation, bias-related violence or intimidation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and tortious interference. But let's be clear with what's really going on here. The heart of this issue isn't the frivolous nature of the lawsuit, but in reality, how Mercante has found a way to weaponize it and legally dox me. Because now it's an official lawsuit. She officially put information in it, so it's public available information, so she can share it out there with people. Except for one thing. I posted to Twitter, I also find it interesting how she feels unsafe posting her own address in a legal document, but didn't have a problem including mine and sharing the document publicly to her legion of followers who actively hate me. Weird. And I cut the part saying the parties. Plaintiff, Alyssa Mercante is a resident of the state of New York and the County of Kings. Alyssa Mercante's address is redacted here within due to threats made against her as the basis of this lawsuit. But such information will be revealed to the court in camera. She may be served with any process through her counsel of record identified below. Which, okay, understandable if that's how you feel, but then you give my address right after this and don't think that the same thing's gonna happen to me when you share it out to your legion of haters that hate me? I mean, we're not gonna really find any logic here because we're talking about Alyssa. Sure enough, we have this person on Twitter by the name of Airbagged that posted, check out page 7, bro, and shared it to who they have thousands of followers and somebody who is a known troll on the internet trying to skirt the rules and dox people here. And it's not a great look. And honestly, this is the exact expected outcome that I would look to see from someone like Alyssa Mercante, who aligns herself with people like this. Her reckless and honestly abhorrent act here has now put my entire family directly in harm's way, as she has now encouraged others to target me in real life. For someone who claims to fear for her own safety, this is some pretty strong hypocrisy at its finest. Not that I'd expect anything less from her. The lawsuit itself is a blatant attempt to silence my work covering the gaming industry and a clear scream of jealousy over my success and my coverage at it. Among her claims, Mercante alleges that I defamed her by stating that she sucked D for money, accusing me of making factually false statement and actual malice. Her lawyer argues that this statement constitutes defamation per se under New York law, as it impugns her chastity and implies criminal activity.
I am smart, hot, slutty.
They also attribute her alleged damages, including harm to her professional reputation, loss of economic opportunities, and mental anguish to my coverage.
And if you have a problem with that, come fight me. Physically.
Has anyone taken you up on that yet?
No, because we're all D's.
Yep.
Alyssa, I don't know how else to tell you this, but this is from your Twitter. This is where my post was coming from. I felt like if you put it out there, it's free reign for anyone to comment on it. I don't know how else to tell you this, but that's kind of how social media works. Another one of the many frivolous claims that they put in the suit states that I declared Kotaku to be everything wrong with the video game industry, and continue to say that I created a petition at change.org to have Kotaku shut down, stating, "We demand accountability from Kotaku," and exhorting his viewers to join the movement to uphold the standards we as a community deserve in the video game industry. And I read that and I'm like, yeah, what's the lawsuit here? What legal grounds do you have for this? You're allowed to make change.org petitions. You're allowed to tell people how you feel about things. And if I feel like this would make the game industry better, that's something you want to sue someone over? Her unhinged accusations don't stop there, though. Mercante claims I intentionally inflicted emotional distress by creating a firestorm of online attention that she says has resulted in daily harassment, which apparently that only goes one way, because I could claim very easily the same with every time you talk about me and send your legion of fans over at me. But again, that road only goes one way with these people. She alleges that I targeted her based on her race, which is wild because she's Italian and so am I, so wouldn't I be attacking myself if that's the case? The lawsuit also asserts that I engaged in tortious interference with her employment, claiming my commentary and promotion of others' critiques had now somehow directly led to her job loss and contract buyout. So I'm only supposed to say nice things about people now? I can't criticize what people say and do and how I feel like it could impact their employment based off their actions? Or how, I don't know, you contacted my wife, tried to get us divorced, tried to ruin my family life, and I dared tag Kotaku and said, hey, try to wrangle in your employees because they're kind of unhinged doing stuff like this? That's apparently on me now for daring to speak out about it? But the most ludicrous charge in all the accusations is the stoic terrorism. It's a term her legal team appears to be using to start some sort of legal new grounds. They are trying to argue that I stoked harassment among my followers with the intent to harm Mercante's life and livelihood. This claim is as baseless as it is inflammatory, stretching the definition of liability to absurd extremes. And then you read through more of this and you see how they're citing sources from Wikipedia as their source for truth. Grums on Twitter said, "What lawsuit cites Wikipedia as a source? You're not even allowed to cite that in high school papers. Clown lawsuit versus Smash JT." Credit where it's due, though, because at least she aims high when she's trying to get money out of people. Because let's be honest, ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. Threatening me and my family and extorting money. They state, the amount of controversy in this case is more than $75,000 because Jeff's commercial enterprise is largely built off of and dedicated to the disparaging, harassing, intimidating, and stalking of Alyssa Mercante, which I gotta stop there and just say, I haven't talked about Alyssa since she's been irrelevant outside of Kotaku. She hasn't really been doing anything talking about video games, which is what I cover. So I don't understand the merit on this one. Most of my followers that are new here don't even know about her. His income has exceeded $75,000 in the calendar year of 2024 alone. They don't know that. How can they make that claim? That's fascinating. And at least 75,000 of that is directly based upon factually false statements made by Jeff and Alyssa Mercante. Additionally, the harms to Mercante because of the mob Jeff has incited and the related harassment all far exceed $75,000 in damages. And just doing quick math here, they're saying I made $75,000 and they say that I made all of that based off Mercante. So because of that, she should get all of the money. All right, yeah, because of course, it's all about the money. Good luck with that one, Alyssa. Jay Viper said, the lawyer, by the way, they don't bring their best. Now here's the worst part of all of it. Many of you saw the last time that she was threatening to follow through with the lawsuit, and I had to retain counsel. I did the whole GoFundMe thing, blew it out of the ballpark, made way more money than we needed to cover the expenses. It was only $2,500 for the retainer, and we made something like, I'd have to check it, but it's in the 6,000 range, the low 6,000s. And I made a video saying, okay, you know what? We made more money than we needed. I don't want to pocket this money, and I was fully planning on donating it to cancer research because my wife is a cancer nurse, and that's very important and meaningful to us and a lot of other people out there. But no, now that she's moving forward with this, I'm going to need to dive into that funding and potentially need to create a new one to assist in covering these charges. So the worst part about this frivolous lawsuit is, well, one, she's doxing me and my family and putting us in danger, so I'd say that's the first one. But two, taking money away from cancer patients now for what? Like, to get your name out there? To get people talking about you again? You are irrelevant. No one cares about you. After you left Kotaku and tried to start writing for Rolling Stone and nobody cared at all about you, you had to get your name out there again and do something like this. Nobody cares about you. Again, you are irrelevant. And after this lawsuit comes and goes and you get completely destroyed in it, you're going to be even more irrelevant than you ever were. The only reason people have to talk about you right now is because you are the stain on the shirt. You are the shit that people step in, and it's annoying, and you tell people about it, and at the end of the day, that's all you have left for your name, in my humble opinion. Which, by the way, we're still allowed to have opinions about people, right? Well, according to people like Alyssa, they want to take that right away from people because it's kind of like a communistic dictatorship that some people like to run out there, and I'm not a big fan of stealing away people's free speech, which some would argue is wild to someone who's a journalist should stand for free speech. But that's kind of the problem when you have activists in gaming that don't really care or stand for free speech or journalism. They're there with an agenda to push, and when that doesn't work out, they start to attack the very people that stand up for what's right. Moving forward with this lawsuit isn't just an attack on me, it's an attack on anyone who dares to speak out against the entrenched narratives in the gaming industry. It's a chilling precedent that should concern all journalists, creators, and commentators alike. I won't back down, and I urge you guys to please stand with me as we fight this battle together, because honestly, not just for my sake, but it's really for the principles of standing up for free speech. And this is a direct shot at that, and trying to claim, oh, he's hurting my fee-fees, it's not fair, he's talking about me. You are a public figure, or at least you were when I talked about you. Now you're irrelevant, but I have to talk about you because you're doing stupid shit like this. Stop it. It's embarrassing. And at the end of the day, this is the worst part about it. She has nothing to lose. As far as I can tell, she has barely any money to her name. So right now, she's just throwing stuff out there, seeing what sticks. And if stuff comes back on her, there's nothing you can really get out of her. She's like what you would call a troll lawsuit person, someone that just throws them out there and hopes she gets some money from someone because she doesn't want to actually work. She doesn't want to put the time and effort into anything. She wants to destroy and try to make money off the destruction, in my humble opinion. Once again. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for the full article. I'm also going to be live streaming this for the foreseeable future, talking about it in a lot more detail. So if you want to check out my live streams, typically start the live streams at 8 p.m. Pacific time. So yeah, check them out if you want to. If you appreciate the channel, you want to support me, please consider hitting the join button. I genuinely appreciate that. And yeah, Alyssa, I don't know what to tell you. This is really just... It's embarrassing, it's pathetic, it's right on brand with who you are, and at the end of the day, nobody's really surprised. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing. Smash J, smash J, smash J, smash J, smash J, smash J, smash J,